This short training video will teach you how to work with metadata in SharePoint. Here you will learn how to assign metadata using the information pane, both in the item view and the document view, as well as how to assign metadata using Quick Edit for bulk tagging. So I have a browser window open and I will use my bookmarked folder list to navigate back down to the Sulzer case. And once I see the Sulzer case, I'll move to the library where I want to edit the metadata. In this case, I'll go to Working Copies, and in Working Copies I can see a number of folders as well as a number of individual items. So we'll go down here to this test folder that I've created that has some loose items in it for us to tag. Let's take a look at this item, the Black Hills Neurosurgery item. Once I click on that item, the information pane will open and I can scroll down through here to see all the elements of metadata in the order they've been set for the information pane. Now that's different than the order of the metadata that shows in the columns on the view. Those are two separate orders where I can change what is visible and the order in which it appears from the standpoint of my metadata. So let's say I'm in the information pane on the item. I could easily scroll through here and add information, but I'd like to see the document before I do that. So instead, I'll open this so that I can see it. Then I'll click the information pane and I can scroll through and add matter into each of the metadata fields. So let's take this title. The title field is blank. File name is the PDF name, but the title of the document might be something like Account Financial History by Service Date. So I could simply copy that from the document itself and then paste it into the title. Saves me a lot of time. Now I have to hit the tab key for that change to take. I don't have to hit save. And as I scroll through, I can keep adding metadata. Now another way to add metadata much more quickly would be to use Quick Edit. For several items that have the same piece of metadata in a particular column, I might find that very useful. So here, let's assume that I wanted to put the subject matter in for all of these items at once. So here I click Quick Edit, and let's assume that I wanted to fill in the subject matter for all of these as the same thing. They're all related to vocational rehabilitation. So I would simply type in on the top, I might say vocational or voc rehab. Once I have that, I get out of the box and get back into it so I can click the entire box, and then I just scroll down from the next box to the bottom and I hit paste. I've now added that subject matter to all of them at once because it was the same for all of them. Once I'm done with that, I click Exit Quick Edit. So that's a basic description of how to add metadata to a file. One of the things that you'll discover as you go through this is that there are certain categories of metadata that have particular choices available to you. So for example, if I click Kind of Medical Record, say for example I want to edit this item in the information pane and I go down to Kind of Medical Record. Now if I don't happen to see the choices that I want to see, it may mean that I have to change the content type for that library. But once I see all of those things, and I go down to say, for example, Kind of Medical Records, you'll see here I have a set of choices. If I don't want to use one of those choices, I can type in a new one, and it will add it to the list, but only in that site. So that's an easy solution for adding metadata to folders, both in bulk and item by item. So the next thing let's look at is how to change the display of the columns on the page. I can simply choose any column and click the down arrow, click Column Settings, Show Hide Columns, and I can pick which columns appear and which ones don't in the metadata columns across the page. And using these arrows, I can change the order of them. So I can hide them, show them, or change the order of them from this menu. Another way to do that is in the view itself. So if I click the gear and I click Library Settings, I can scroll down to the views, and I'm looking at the All Documents view, and from there I can make the same types of changes by showing and hiding here and simply picking the order for the column here. That can be a lot faster if I have to move a column clear across the page. Once I click OK, I go back to my library. That's the end of this video. Thank you.